Live from the Tony Wallow Studios, it's the Ken Stout Live Show, featuring the Zoom homies, produced by LK Productions. All right, good evening, everybody. Long Dog, Tony Wallow, Greg Guy was first, Bobby Warren, I believe, was third, John Aloy Sr. was second, Mimi was fourth. Long Dog, I put you in about fifth, if my calculations are correct. Let me go do some, let me disable the waiting room and bring everybody in.
It's me.
And, of course, we hear Greg's TV. What would the day be if we didn't hear Greg's TV? But at least we don't hear any echo.
Nope, I turned that off.
Yeah, I've been playing around with mine a little bit today, trying to figure out what would leave it locked or turned off, and everything I tried didn't work, so I'm just going to have to make a mental note to check it, as I need to make a mental note to disable the waiting room when I've used it. I seem to forget that a lot. So good evening, Chris. Good evening, Greg.
Evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everybody in the YouTube chat room. That question will be answered briefly, Bobby. Please stick around. It's like breaking news. In fact, I'm going to make a breaking news thing to put on here.
Here I am, Ken. Don't worry. And yes, I saw your title. It's hilarious.
Of course it's
There
hilarious.
he is, Mr.
I did it.
Mr. Cancel Internet.
So, Alex, you want to discuss it now with the three of us, or do you want to wait until we get a bigger crowd?
It can wait.
Oh, I got to see this. May have to go early. Doesn't look like the crowd's picking up. This odd time of starting was intentional, by the way. I was going to go for 9.
You did that just for me, didn't you?
Actually, no, I didn't do that just for you. There's no rhyme or reason as to why I did it that way. I kind of took a nap and overslept a little bit. Okay, Allie, I guess you're going to have to sit on your hands and wait. Fader Jake is there? Hi, Fader Jake. I didn't see any comment from Allie. Is Allie watching us? Long Dog, you should have sent me... You should have seen after lunch. Oh, Alex. Okay. Okay, gotcha. So, my internet did not get canceled, by the way. As far as I know, it's working just fine.
Mine didn't either.
I did have a glitch earlier a while ago I was trying to watch something that a classmate of mine had posted that really looked kind of funny. But every time I'd play it, it'd pay like a third of a second and it would lock up. So I finally just gave up on watching that. I spoke that sentence pretty doggone quickly, and it did it perfectly. Yeah, sometimes those things are really good, and sometimes they're actually really horrible. And that's all I got to say about that. I wish Sean was with us. I've got some recommendations for him. We can discuss that as well after the stream.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting hungry.
I'm not hungry. I'm just trying to get woke up. We had a long running around busy day today. Bobby's going to get an iMac when he gets his tax return. Whatever's left over from the iMac, send it to 7712 Orchard Village Drive, 46217, and I'll put it to good use somehow.
Or you can just send it to his PayPal.
Either way, PayPal, mail it, I don't care. Amazon gift card. I am not picky. That sounds horrible. I got to get my neck to uncrinkle itself. Here comes Mimi.
Here comes somebody else.
Yeah, Mimi. You guys should see who it is about the same time I see who it is.
Yeah.
There's no special privileges being host. I don't get, oh, here comes so and so, nobody else can see it.
Hello.
Here comes Jeff. Hi, Mimi.
Yeah, forgot to uncover his camera.
Yeah, that's possibly intentional. See?
Bonjour, Monsieur Jeff.
See, I never cover up my camera. I don't.
Bonjour, bonsoir.
I guess that doesn't cover it up good. Buenos
Bonjour.
noches, or something like that. No, is that good evening in Spanish? I need photo mix here.
That's hello.
Should we wait for Gary or should we?
Wait for who?
Gary.
Oh, he can watch it. He'll be late anyway. So, yeah, 5 minutes. Let me set the clock.
Okay.
Hold on, the clock's not set yet. On your mark, get set. Hold on a second. That doesn't look right. Yeah, it's 5 minutes. Go.
Okay, well, first off, Greg, there won't be any screen sharing. I don't have anything to screen share. But I do have to pick on Ken. Ken, you know this. Your title should have been not my internet got canceled because of me, but your title should have been my ISP canceled my internet, because essentially that's what happened.
It served its purpose. Continue. You've got 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, so today I call Windstream and I find out I call them because I think I want verification that the internet's on their side because it's bad weather. But when I call them, give them all the information, come to find out they've actually disconnected the whole account, the phone and the internet. Now, keep in mind, I called them a week or two ago, and I wanted them just to cancel the phone part of the internet because my mom didn't want to pay for the phone that we're not using, and it hasn't been connected for several years. So I called them and I tell them, that I want to disconnect the phone, and apparently they take that to mean I want them to disconnect the whole shooting match. But if that truly is what happened, what's crazy is it happened during this winter weather storm. So it's kind of like I still am really unsure as if it truly is truly wasn't ever on their part, which is what the ISP is saying, or if it is just related to the weather, and they're refusing to tell us that. And my mom called them back right after I got a phone with them, just to hear the same thing come out of their mouth that I heard, and she heard essentially the same thing I got told.
Why would you have any reason to doubt them if they're saying they're at fault? I mean, they're owning up to a mistake, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know if it went because it happened a couple of nights ago when all this ice and stuff, and everybody was talking about power having their power out and all that. I just don't know if it truly happened because of all the ice and bad weather and everything and all the power outages, because fiber does require power at both ends to run.
Yep.
Or if it just coincidentally happened.
Well, I think it's a coincidence. I think the weather had nothing to do with it. I think if you were to find out your billing cycle, you probably are going to find out your billing cycle was over, therefore they canceled your service.
Because my mom was asking, what about the bill? What about this? Well, my mom was asking me before she called him. She was saying, what about the bill? Will we be charged, or will it start a whole new thing? Because they was talking when I called them. They was talking about basically what happened is the phone. She had the phone and internet set up as a bundle.
Huh.
And when I called to cancel the phone, I was told that they had to cancel both the phone and the internet and set it up as a whole set up a new account so I could have just the internet and not the phone. And so that's the reason why they disconnected it. And now I need it reconnected back with just the internet and not the phone. That's their story that they're sticking to.
Well, that actually sounds like it might have happened that way.
But all of this happening and the weather, you would immediately think if the weather's happening, oh, if there's bad weather outside, oh, it's happening because of the bad weather. Not, oh, it's happening because of an error on the ISP's end or because of
Well,
because
until
somebody
you've
keyed
heard
in
them
something
say
wrong.
so, that would be a very reasonable.
Yeah, technically it's not an error on them. They did exactly what you wanted. You wanted to cancel your phone service, and because it was, quote, bundled, they can't do that. And they maybe should have explained that to you.
Well, they didn't.
So I still think the weather had nothing to do with it. I think it was just a coincidence. Billing cycle's over, service ends automatically. Oh, bad weather at the same time. That's just a coincidence.
But
And
also, other people were saying that their internet was also out and that they've
that's a
been getting
possibility.
text messages saying that the internet will be restored at noon tomorrow or whenever.
Right, and that was your first indication that maybe something else was wrong, because if you remember right, we asked last night, did your mom get a text message, and you said not that you know of.
And I asked her today if she ever got a from them, and she said no.
Right. And your bill should be lowered, and it should start whatever day they set the new account up.
Yep.
Moving forward.
Yep.
So,
Well, regardless of what the bill is, we're on the lowest speed they offer.
so
Now,
if you
to
get
my-
a bill
to
for
my
$900 and you're on the lowest speed they offer, you're going to be okay with that?
No, but I'm just saying we are on the lowest speed they offer at my address according to the website, which is 500.
Yeah, that's all right. 500 is adequate for a lot of things.
Isn't that the lowest that they're currently offering to everybody?
Well, the church lady, she has 300. But if you type in my address into their website, and it actually shows you what's available and doesn't complain and say, well, you've already got service at this address, so you need to call us. It will show me 2 plans, 500 and 1,000.
Maybe your church lady doesn't have the 500 available in her area. Is that possible?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they base it off of address. To get their service, you have to put in your exact address, because one person could get 500 and the next person may only be able to get 100. I don't.
It's true. All right, we're putting that subject to bed. Anybody got any final words they would like to say on that?
One question: Do you have internet now? Did they turn it back on?
Windstream, no. Phone, yes.
Are you gonna get it turned back on?
Yes. Within 24 to 48 hours.
Okay, that's all.
Well, I will tell another ISP tale here.
Go ahead. Let me put you on the clock. How long is this going to take?
Just 2 minutes.
Go right ahead.
My ISP has been auditing our entire neighborhood.
Uh-oh.
Well, in the sense that they're going to every house and checking everything. And so they finished mine this morning. They found there were some loose connections on the roof, and the thing with the structure itself was not grounded. So they ran a ground wire. Now, it's not the electrical part that goes down to the modem. That was already grounded through the outlet where it's plugged in.
Right.
But I really didn't see any change in internet speeds as a result of that, but they're still working in the neighborhood. However, I am much improved due to something, but it's still not consistent. Yesterday, Edge would get consistently faster speeds than Firefox when I went to the speed test website. Today it's reversed.
Jeez.
But at any rate, when things are working well, I'm now getting 700 down and 200 up.
Not bad.
So
That's
but it's very
$35 worth.
inconsistent. I can get that test, and 5 minutes later, from the same website, in the same browser without changing anything, I'll get 300 down and 20 up. But mostly it's faster. So, but they're still working in the neighborhood. I'm not going to draw any conclusions till it's all done.
So apparently you weren't the only one that was complaining about chat. Or
no, but
about
what
chat,
they've
about
done,
the
they expanded so fast that there was some sloppy work involved.
Well,
And
yeah.
every place they're expanding here, they're going through and checking everything. I mean, the guy was here like 3 hours today just working on stuff outside.
Wow.
Well, how come the man with his laptop got the correct speed?
Because he
Don't know.
called his buddy and said, "Hey, I'm getting ready to run this. Make sure my numbers are good."
Well, after he
Sounds
left,
like
I could
something-
get the same speeds before they fixed the stuff on the outside. So the whole thing is very inconsistent.
Sounds
Let's
kind
see
of,
if the consistency. Oh, and the other thing though is that the speed test app that you download will not show any place near those speeds under any circumstance. It is much slower than the web test. But I also found 2 or 3 other places that'll test speed, and some of them are slower and some of them are about the same. If you go to the Google speed test, it shows pretty good results also. So anyway, I I don't have enough data to draw any solid conclusions. Everything's inconsistent, but it is working, and some of the time I get what are nominally high speeds. So I'm just going to let it go for right now. I'm still only paying $35 a month. So unless it really goes to pot, I'm not going to complain much anymore.
Yeah.
I have came to the conclusion ever since we got this fiber optic. I've come to the conclusion that I can't think of not one thing that all of our devices or just me could do that would literally take down all of 500 up and down, plus or minus whatever I've got at the time.
Well, you've got 75 devices running. Why don't you just ask the neighbors if they want to chime in for a specific test? Jeff, you might want to close your ears. 929 down, 938 up. That's on Okla. And yes, I retain the #1 status, don't I?
You do have a point, Ken. I do have 14 devices, but that's with all the phones on, all the computers turned on at the same time. 3 computers, three phones, a tablet, my Google speaker, all the TVs, everything.
I'll ask the tough question. So is there any way you can shut everything off except for like 1 or 2 things, get a reading, turn something on, get a reading, turn something on, get a reading, just to see the effect that turning different things on has on your internet speed?
Yes, I could do that, but if I did
Well,
that,
why would I do that? That sounds like something that makes too much sense. I took care of the answer for you.
If I did that, I would probably get fussed at.
Well, you should explain to them you're running it as a test to show them that you have a better internet now once you get internet back. I don't know. It's just a thought. Long Dog said earlier in chat he's been offered to go from 100 to 200 to possibly 500 meg, but he doesn't really think that he'll see that much of a difference.
I have been showing my mom every time she comes in my room and complains and says this website won't load on her phone. I
She's-
say it's the website. I take her phone and I take her phone and I open the speed test app and I run the test and I say, see here, you're getting 300 or 400 down and you're getting 300 or 400 down and up in the living room.
So is she
At the
still
other end of the house, there's nothing
she-
to complain.
so she still cannot connect to certain websites?
She
You need
can
to be-
connect to those websites. It's just when she connects to those certain websites and videos that she's trying to look at.
Right. That's
No
what I
matter
said.
where she's at, no matter where she's at in the house, those videos refuse to. Those videos they buffer. Those videos refuse to load.
So
But
even
she's
if
not
she's
looking.
even if she's in your room right next to the router and she tries to do that, she can't log on to the website?
Yeah, she showed me. She came in my room the other day when the kids was there playing. Walked into my room right where the router is. Showed me her phone. And the video that she was looking at was trying to load, and I said, see that right there, the router right there. So that proves to me, and this is the way I can prove to you that it's not the internet speed, it's the.
She have any ad blockers on her phone?
She does. I don't know about now. She does use Brave on her. She does use Brave, so that could be affecting it.
Alex, maybe she needs an iPhone.
Because you've said Ken that Brave bounces the signal like 3 different or 4 different places.
How do you put Brave on your phone?
It's just an app. You just go into the App Store or the Google Play Store on an Android and type in Brave.
Oh, I'll try it. I'll give it a shot then.
I use Brave browser all the time. I don't have no problems with it.
Yeah, on my
But anyway,
computer, I don't either.
again, I don't know for sure if her issues is Brave browser. I just know she uses it. It may just be that particular website she's looking at.
Well, but you get squirrely stuff. When I started Ken's stream tonight, it sat there and just spun and spun and spun in the circle. And finally, I refreshed the page and clicked on the arrow again, and it finally came through.
Yes, but also she's not looking at YouTube or Facebook or anything. I never have an issue going to YouTube, Facebook, Google, any major Gmail, any major website, the website she's going to or not.
But I mean, I still have YouTube issues occasionally, just like what I explained.
Right.
And it may spin the circle on Ken's and not on somebody else's in the same YouTube session. It's a very
I
Thanks,
experienced that a little bit today with Doug, actually, when I was trying to watch his thing once we got back. And
But I've come to the conclusion of all I can do as far as telling them, it's working or not. All I can do is try to take my phone and tablet and their phones and computers and whatever, try to run the test all over the house and say it's not the actual connection to the internet.
Right, but what you need, right, and we all agree with that, but what you're not doing and what you're going to not do and what you're going to avoid at all costs is try to go to the same site your mom's going to. You running a speed test, we know that's going to be good, but you're not going to what the problem is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Have you done that yet?
Yeah. No, but I need.
See, in about 10 minutes, I think
I-
that's a 10-minute penalty in the waiting room.
I know I need, but don't put me in the waiting room now because I can't do it because we don't have it at the moment.
You don't have the waiting room?
No, I don't have my internet connection up. I'll will my cell phone.
Well, I didn't mean for you to do it right now. I just meant that should have been one of the very first things you did. Run a speed test, satisfy your urge to do that, and then go to the exact same site she's trying to see on your phone or your iPad or your watch or whatever you're using, your Sketch-a-Patch or whatever. That's a sketch. You probably don't even know what that is.
Yes, I do.
And see
I'm not
if
that
you get the
young,
same
Ken.
results. I mean,
Yes.
That's like me. That's like Lorna coming in here and saying the stove doesn't work, and I go to the dryer and try to cook on the dryer. Of course, it's not going to work. It's a little bit of an extreme example, but you get my point, right?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I just need to find out what website she's going to or what exact video she's going to and try to load it on my computer or on my.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. The other thing I tried to do on my situation was test whether anything on my computer was slowing stuff down. But after some of this got fixed, I went to my old desktop, which is, I mean, it's years older. And I was getting 700 down on it now after some of this were
Wow.
done.
Speaking
Plus,
of
I-
desktop,
And on my new one, I make sure I have all the drivers loaded. I ran MemTest on it. I haven't run it with XMP enabled. I shut off XMP and ran MemTest on all 64 gigabytes. And it took 11 hours and it ran through 4 cycles and didn't find anything wrong. So not overnight sometime here, I'm going to run it again now that I have XMP re-enabled. But if I was having memory errors that were interfering with the speed tests, I suppose that could still be happening if it's inconsistent, but I am getting high speeds with running at XMP right now.
so I got a question for Greg. He posted in our homies chat that you put something on your computer that sped your memory up.
No, CPU. I'll show you.
Oh, I misread then. So did that help your internet speed?
No, I didn't see any change in that.
Hey, go back to that one. Go back a page. That looked pretty good.
Oh, he went to XP.
Oh yeah, no.
He went to Windows XP.
He reverted back.
Can you see my taskbar?
Yes.
Okay, see that icon?
Which icon? I see a bunch of them.
The one that I'm touching.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
AI Suite 3
Yeah,
or Al Suite 3.
AI Suite 3.
Okay.
It's from Asus,
Three.
and it's one touch overclocking. Look at my CPU speed. It's a 3.6.
Ooh.
It adjusts.
Pretty-
It goes through and it tests all the cores, what the maximum CPU speed it can push to. And then it backs it off a little bit.
Now, have you noticed a change in the performance of the computer?
It said I had a 14% increase when it finished the test.
Yeah, I see
also,
that.
Does it
it
does it
also
change the BIOS or is it only in Windows?
I don't know. I haven't been in the BIOS. I just put this on last night. It adjusted the voltages, my CPU temperature, and my fan speed.
What's
can
your what's the VRM Digi Plus over there on the left hand corner on the bottom? Go up one. Right there. What is that?
I'm not sure. It's for voltages probably.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to mess with it. And you can set your fan speed from silent, standard, turbo.
Hey, go back on that fan a minute. That looks like DaVinci Resolve. You just need to grab that circle up there and put it where you'd like, and your fan will go faster.
Yeah.
Hi, Rick. Rick Lakes joins us in chat. Good evening, Rick. Nice to see you.
14% increase.
Huh. Interesting. What's Turbo app mean? We're about to find out. Greg
I'm
blasts
not
off,
sure what
Greg
all
blasts
this
off into outer space, and we see him in 3 months.
I'm not sure what all this does. I guess it's the fine tweaking you can do. I have to
Splash
do it
execute.
manually.
I wonder if you click on Splash Execute, if the movie Splash comes up with Daryl Hannah and Tom Hanks. Yes, I'm back. I believe I'm back. I'm gonna be like, what's his name in John Wick? I don't know. Everybody keeps asking me, am I out of retirement? I think with all the killing and stuff. Yeah, I'm back. I think I'm back. I just like the John Wick series, that's all.
So, Greg, did it run any hotter?
No, I've been watching my temps. I was watching Doug and a few other videos, and it was only about 36 degrees. Right now, it's running 41. That's probably because I got this software running plus a browser.
Yeah, one thing I noticed when I ran MemTest, I couldn't. All the fans kicked on my new build because it was running 8 of 10 CPUs and 2 threads on each one to run the MemTest. Gets done quicker that way than running it all on one CPU. But all the fans kicked on and it was warmer underneath my desk. But it only got up to like 47.
Right now, it's only 40 degrees,
So,
and it's 39 here. I got one that I put in years ago called Core Temp.
oh, okay.
This has got its own built-in monitor. They're only like
I was relying on what MemTest says since you boot it from a flash drive.
Did that
So
ever
it's
get
the only
done?
thing running.
Jeff, did that ever get done?
Yes, 11 hours. No errors.
Wow. So Wintermute dropped a link in there, here, intro to it, to what Greg is showing us. So I'll look at that later. I've got it and 2 videos from Mimi queued up, ready to go for later tonight. She sent me a link to a couple videos, and I just haven't taken the time. It's not that I haven't had the time. I just haven't taken the time to read it, full disclosure. The world's pretty much back in the way it should be for now, I guess is the best way to put things.
How's Mom doing? If we may
we did so much running around. I called and Carrie said, my sister said she's fine. So I honestly can't say one way or the other.
Okay.
My brother and I talked about it briefly. Lorna had to go back to her old job for some reason, which I didn't quite comprehend, but I'm just a chauffeur. Where do you want to go, Miss Daisy? And that's where we go.
She's still working there at nights, or?
She worked last night. The schedule's not even made out. Week starts on Sunday. Hold on, Alex. I'll spotlight you. The week starts on Sunday, and there's still no schedule, so who knows? I told her jokingly that I'd take over the schedule, but it's going to cost them, and I'm not going to be responsible about finding replacements. So is that since 2 days ago?
That is since yesterday morning when I woke up and found out the internet was gone. It's but that's combined for my hotspot, which has been running my TV, my computer, and my tablet, as well as the phone itself.
Well, I'm glad you got your priorities correct and that you have the TV connected to your hotspot. Uh-oh, you're frozen. I think you're having some issues. Come back into orbit. Don't move. You're perfect right there. Don't move. Stay right like that. You're fine. Do not move.
Is your phone heating up from all the data passing through it?
Good question.
Oh, no, not really. And if it is, I can't tell because I've got a case on it.
Okay.
Has the case melted onto it yet?
No,
Well,
it's not.
all right.
And believe it or not, using the hotspot all day today and keeping it on all day has really not drained the battery as much as I thought it was going to. I've still got.
Oh, you're frozen
in
again.
my battery on my phone.
How much?
65%.
Not bad.
But usually my phone battery, usually if I don't have,
Can't hear you.
usually when I'm home, I don't use my phone that much, and so it's like
I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. All right, hello, Alex. Can you hear me? He's frozen again.
I can hear you.
It's probably that crappy Android he's got. That's all it is. Robert Michael says, "Evening, homies."
Well, I think you're messing with me, Ken.
No, Alex. Why would I want to do that? Please, that hurts my
Um,
feelings. I'm gonna put you in the wait. If I put you in the waiting room, what
But
happens?
anyway,
You can't get back in.
I can't hear anybody.
Now who's messing with who? Oh, seriously?
You messing with me?
No, you said you can't hear anybody. I said, now who's messing with who? Can you seriously not hear anybody?
No, I can hear you. I can hear you just fine. I'm just trying to think of an answer.
Well, yes or no would be a real good answer. You
Well,
are
if I was-
seriously breaking up though. The kind of sound like you're a little bit. At least that's what I'm hearing.
Well, last time I checked, I was only getting about 15 down and 8 up.
Oh, you can't blame that on your speed now. Let's not go there. Admit it. It's your Android. You can admit it here. Be a man. Tell us what we know already.
And whenever I try to open up the browser here and go to a website, it takes probably a good 30 seconds to a minute to load the 30 seconds to a minute to load the page. Just
Back in the 1990s, we'd have loved for something to open up in 30 seconds. And that was hardwired.
oh yeah, I knew it was gonna go there. I believe it or not know what it's like to use dial up fairly recently.
So Peter
Because
Dobson,
I-
who sent me a message, or he actually commented on a video, says instead of using a hotspot, you can use a USB tethering with Easy Tether, and it works with AT&T.
Yeah, you're right. I could use a USB cord and plug it into my phone and use that, but that I think that requires some special driver or something or other on your computer or something. I'm not sure. My computer already has Wi-Fi built into it, and the phone's sitting right here next to the computer. So
I have no idea.
USB, you're still kind of using a hotspot. I mean,
and I've got my phone set to it allows me to select either 2.4 or 5 gigahertz for the Wi-Fi, and I've got it set to 5 gigahertz, so it's
The race is on between me and Wintermute as to who can come up with a link first, which I'm going to lose that.
Ian, you knew that that remind me of something. You can actually set up if you got hardwired to the Ethernet port on your computer. I think you can set up make your computer a hotspot instead of having a
yes,
make your
yes,
computer a
you
hotspot.
can do that, because if you don't have a wireless router, if your computer has Wi-Fi and Ethernet like mine do, you can make your computer a wireless hotspot. It's built in, or mobile hotspot as they call it. It's built into Windows now. I don't know why I would use that, because I've got a mobile hotspot on my phone and actual Ethernet internet connection when it's working, but it's there as an option.
So the link I came up with, you have to pay $9.99 to buy it. So I don't know if this is the right one or not, but it's out of my price range. No, you will win, as I don't know what I'm looking for. Well, neither do I. Peter says the only special driver you might need is a USB driver for your particular Android phone you can get from the manufacturer's site. So something to look into in case you somehow lose your internet again, say in 30 days. You all right, Jeff?
Yep.
Too many
Well,
cold
the
bites on the
Wi-Fi-
baseball diamond.
Well, the Wi-Fi connection seems to be between the phone and the computer seems to be working perfectly fine, since the phone is literally sitting right next to the computer.
Yeah, so I'm going to share a little story from this morning with someone in our Zoom chat. I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but I get a phone call this morning, a phone message call, and the first thing I hear is, Now I'm mad. So I'm thinking, well, you don't have power because it kind of looked like it was dark there. I said, oh, you lost your power. No, and he shows me the light. I got power, but now I'm mad. Oh. This is where we need Robert's poor professor. So, Lauren and I stopped in the golf place this afternoon, one of the many places we were at. And I wanted to do some inquiring about a couple things. He gave us full permission. In fact, he encouraged that we record everything. He said I can put as many cameras as I can put in there. I only have 2, so that's limited to 2. And then somehow we got on the conversation, and Lorna said, well, how does this work? He says, come on back. So he took us back to a bay, and he was explaining the bay next to us was operational. Guy was in there learning how to putt, and he showed us that. And he said, now I'll show you how the whole big picture works, which is he did the basic same spiel of this is a drive, and you get to see everything. So he actually has the capability of recording all that to begin with. And I said, well, have you ever thought about offering it to people at a cost, a copy of what they're doing? He goes, I have, but I don't want to get into video. I said, you don't edit it. It's raw footage. That's their problem if they want to edit it. That would save people like me from bringing my cameras in and setting them up. And his eyes got about that big. He's like, I never really thought about that. How hard would that be to do? I said, you already record it, right? He said, yeah. I said, you just figure out a way to make it bay or Ben specific for that particular person for that particular session. Sell it to him. I don't know, whatever is fair. I have no idea what would be fair. And then you've added on your business. You've increased your revenue a little bit. So he goes, that's a good idea. I'll give you a free lesson. I'm like, cool. So I got a free lesson coming now. I'm looking forward to that. Next week I will be playing outside, I do believe, as we're supposed to hit the high 50s and no rain. We will see.
Hey Ken, they said the groundhog in the south did not see a shadow.
That's because he was in somebody's cook pot somewhere.
Well, we're done with the.
Jeff got it.
I got it.
We are officially done with the winter weather around my neck of the woods. All the sun came out today and melted almost all the ice.
We were a balmy 23 degrees today, and it
Well,
really
50s
felt
is
a
still
lot
winter.
warmer than 23.
50s is still winter.
Yeah, I keep telling you guys, there's going to be snow on the ground in Indiana in July. Everybody's going to be scratching their heads going, what in the holy heck is going on here?
And it's going to snow in Miami, Florida in July.
Yep. Yes, I got Chris on board.
We were 45 today. We were 45 today or something like that.
So I don't mean this to pick on Alex, but is anybody else hearing the fact he is stuttering a little bit from his connection?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I wanted him to know I'm not picking on him. I'm actually hearing it.
We were 44 today. That was a high. Tomorrow's supposed to be 54 is a high. Sunday's supposed to be 62. Monday is 64. And it's not supposed to rain again until Tuesday, but it's supposed to be 61 degrees Tuesday. So we're done with the winter weather.
So I'm gonna address the fact that he's starting to stutter a little bit. Is that because his usage is getting close to the 10 gigabyte limit that he has, or gigabit, whatever?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's just because of the connection.
But I thought you had an excellent connection. I'm confused.
I told you my connection does not reach excellent status until midnight.
Whoa.
Really?
Hello.
Well, can you say that in English, please?
Hello.
Hi, Mimi.
My connection does not get fantastic. My connection does not get really fast until like 11 o'clock or midnight. And it has nothing to do with the bad. It has nothing to do with the bad weather. What it has to do with is I'm on the free connection plan.
And there's
all the other people.
Sure.
All the other people that are paying for the service get a better connection than I do.
That makes sense. Plus, there's more people on the internet right now and using the service, right?
Yes, there's more people using the cell phone service around here, this area, because there's no, there's a lot of people are without power, which means they're without Windstream, or they're just without Windstream like I am.
What time do they roll the sidewalks up in Sheridan?
Think so.
Midnight, because that's when I checked. I was on my tablet. I was on my tablet last night about midnight, and I ran a speed test on my tablet, which was still connected to my hotspot, and I was able to pull about 66 down and 8 up. If I run a speed test now, I won't get. If I run a speed test now or all day, any day of the week, I won't get a speed test anywhere near that. I may get 15, maybe 20 if I'm lucky.
Well, hopefully, come Monday morning, you're going to have your internet back, and you're going to have the whopping 700, whatever you were getting, and everything will be good.
Why can't they
But-
just flip? Why can't they just flip a switch and turn it back on? They flip a switch and turn it off.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I actually said that a couple times.
That's what my mom was saying. That's what my mom was saying to them when she called. Y'all should just be able to flip a switch.
So
But
are we all,
according to them, they need to-
disillusioned as to how it works, or is there actually work involved where someone has to go somewhere and do something other than flipping a switch?
Not actually flip a
Well,
switch.
the issue is at first,
Oh.
every time you talk to these imbeciles at Windstream, at first they think that the service hasn't been installed. And once you tell them that the service has already been installed, they say, "Oh, we can just flip a switch." So it'll be 24 to 48. It'll be 24 to 48 hours, or basically when all the power lines get put up, everybody gets their power back on, and all the power lines and trees get cleared from all this bad weather.
That's a
So
possibility.
you're still
They
That is a
basically said
possibility.
that. They basically said that without saying that, because they refused to say that it's because of bad weather.
So they haven't disconnected you from the node yet.
I don't know if they disconnected me from the node or not. All
I
know
doubt
is
They just went in their computer and turned it off.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, Chris. I don't think they've actually.
That's what I meant by flipping a switch. They pretty much go in their computer and disable it.
The H ringer looks comfortable tonight. Is that a scarf?
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Comment allez-vous?
No, I'm fine. How are you?
Eh bien.
Ah,
That is
Good.
about the only thing I understand in French is comment allez-vous?
comment allez-vous,
Yep.
Mis-
Comment allez-vous?
Mr.
And then I
Mr.
believe, what is it? We be in is correct. If you're okay, we be in.
I am fine, thank you.
Now we're having a language lesson. So
Welcome.
BH, what's your temperature there right now?
Thermometer's frozen.
Wow. You got your
No, I
fires.
don't know what it is.
You got your fire going though, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I got it. I got my firebox stoked up like a steam engine going up the Mount Everest.
What your temperature?
What was the question, Mimi?
She asked the baby ranger, whatever. What's her temperature? The baby ranger. It's baby ranger.
what's your temperature, BH ringer? That's
What's
Oh,
it?
his thermometer's frozen. It's so cold the thermometer froze.
Yeah, me
Yeah, that's
Me-
cold.
me is frozen.
No, minus 22.
Whoo!
41. 41.
That's cold.
541. 541. It's frozen.
Yeah, that's cold too. I don't know what we are. I don't. If it's not in the negative numbers, I'm not going to disclose it because you guys will get mad at me. Oh my gosh, it's 18 degrees. Oh, I wasn't going to say that. Low overnight of 17. Man, not going to. That's almost like internet speed. Are you really going to notice 1 degree temperature change?
Ah,
Oh,
As
geez.
ca-
Now we got
if it's
rain
a-
Tuesday,
if it's-
Wednesday,
if it's
Thursday,
if
Friday,
it-
and Saturday next week. See, that changed. We
If
had
it's 1
great
degree
weather. Now we
temperature-
got rain. Alex, take it back. I want you to bring the weather back to Arkansas.
If it's 1 degree temperature change in your house, if you're changing your thermostat 1
Uh-huh.
degree, yes, I'll notice it. If it's your internet or it's outside temperature, no, you will not notice it.
Isn't it the same
I-
thing?
No. What I'm trying to say here is if I wanted to, I could limit at the router, I could limit my mom and dad's speed to like say 100 or 200 download and upload, and they wouldn't notice a difference.
Although we were talking about air temperature and not internet speed. Did I get lost in translation? Let me start over again. Can you really tell if it's 18 degrees or 17 degrees? Can you really tell the difference?
If I'm inside, yes. You bump the temperature from 70 to 69 or to 68 from 70, yes, or from 71, yes, I can. Because I live
You're a
in
walking
frozen,
thermometer, aren't you?
I live in a frozen tundra. I live
No,
in a
you
frozen
live in
wasteland.
Arkansas. You don't live in a frozen tundra.
I stay in this house more than I'm out. So I feel like I live in a freezer sometimes. Last night it was so cold outside.
How
and
cold was it?
Like 29 or 28, something like that. Anyway, I had my blanket, I had my electric blanket on as hot as it would go, which I never ever do. I never ever turn my electric blanket up as hot as it would go, but last night I did.
Lincoln. Eh?
Hang on a minute. I'm doing some artwork
Negative
change here.
26. I see that, Mimi. I had that yesterday, but it was 26. It was positive 26, not negative 26.
Yeah. And
That is chilly. That is almost. My goodness. I'd almost have to put a jacket on for that. Good golly.
It's snowing here too.
Well, I thought it would be too cold to snow.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
Are you getting a lot of snow or just flakes, flurries?
It'll probably accumulate over the night, maybe half an inch or half a foot.
How cold is too cold to snow?
what do you street?
Good question.
Richard?
I don't know. I've actually heard that it can be too cold to snow, though.
What you street, Ranger?
What is
Street. Street.
I'm not understanding.
Go
Send
ahead.
me a message. I'll translate it.
OK. Attends une minute, tabarnak. Attends.
I'll have to check. I'll have to run an experiment, Alex. I'll lower our temperature by 1 degree, and I'll see if my human thermometer can tell or
Now,
not.
I notice it, but see the difference between me and somebody else that walks around all the time and that generates body heat is I don't move around as much as a lot of people do. So I pretty much get up out of bed and park it, and I'm sitting in one spot all day. You know, physically, my body is sitting in one spot. Although I may move a wheelchair around, of course. But
That's a good point. All right. Why can't I highlight this? This is making me mad. There we go. Go to translate. Delete that. Paste that. Are you asking what street do I live on, Mimi?
No, Ranger.
Oh, she's asking me where I live. I'm in Nova Scotia, Mimi.
What's yours? Montreal?
No.
I'll take care of it for you.
US?
Yep. Give me 1 second. Oops. I think I spelled that wrong, but okay, Mimi, check your messages.
Okay. 1 second, please.
Hey, Ken,
Yeah, Alex.
that right there is why I'm
There,
stuttering.
Okay. New
What?
sequence.
Well, that looks higher than a
Oh.
while ago.
7 down and less than a meg up.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's the actual speed.
You got your TV running?
Not right now. Not right now. I turned it off.
Alex, is your temperature for hot side?
Well, let's just hope come Monday you get your internet back and they don't charge you for an installation and everything else.
Alex,
Long Dog says, we desert people start to call it cold when it gets under 50. My wife starts to call it cold when it gets under 90. So you guys can't hold a candle to her.
I have to agree with your wife.
90
I call
is
it
hot.
cold.
70
Yeah,
is
but
comfortable.
I call it cold. In this house, I call it cold if it gets below 70. If it gets below 72, which it's always below 72. It never. Our temperature is anywhere between 66 and I say 71 year round.
Yeah, Jeff, I agree. If you're sitting there at 45 to 55 and you're just sitting, it will get chilly after a while. I mean, I know I say all the time I go out in short pants and t-shirts, and I do for the most part. But if I'm going to be out for any length of time, I'll put on a long pair of pants and I'll put on my long sleeve t-shirt and I'll be
ding,
okay.
ding. Ding,
I have a
ding.
stocking cap and a long sleeved heavier coat, but I find I feel better if I have long sleeves on underneath the coat
Yeah.
too.
Now, for some reason, that made me think of Steve Buscemi in the movie Fargo. Have you ever seen that movie?
Ding, 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 bing, bing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, some of the temperatures that Mimi and BH are having, I would have to throw a coat on if I was going to be out.
Well, I mean, if I were back in Kansas where I grew up in the winter, I'd have on a heavier coat than I do here.
Yeah. I see Tim's trying to join us.
It's
I'm here.
I see Tim's with us. He just turned his camera off. Hi, Tim.
Yeah,
yeah, one of
hey.
the things I've got ordered and a little propane heater that you use outside. You screw it on the tank. And
Oh, I've got those. We used to use those inside the hangars to keep us warm when we're
a
working
lot
on
of the
airplanes.
families with kids going to baseball practice after dark this winter have been using those. And you just stick it in a little box on a cart and haul it with you down to the field.
Have they got any indoor facilities in Vegas yet?
Not much for baseball. The batting cages are indoors. But
Oh,
we
really?
practice at the field twice a week. And the worst thing about the place we have been going most of the time is that until this week, when Little League started up again, we're not Little League, we're what's called club ball. But we were the only team using this one particular park. And they wouldn't unlock the damn restrooms after dark.
That's crazy.
And now they've got more than one team playing there. At least the restrooms were unlocked last week.
Yeah. Long Dog, I agree with you. I'm 63. I'll be 64 in June. And I used to look upon that when I was younger as, man, that's ancient. But now that I've achieved this wonderful age, it's not that old. It really isn't.
You guys are just young pups.
It's now minus 27 with the wind chill.
I don't know, your background doesn't look that cold there, BH.
Pardon me?
Your background doesn't look that cold.
No, that'd be where I'd like to be right now.
I
Yeah.
don't know, nobody likes a smart ass.
Mm. If you step
What you
outside,
get
just
used
take-
to. I grew up where it did get cold, and when we lived in Tennessee for a long time, it got fairly cold there in the winters, although we had our days that weren't bad. But now I'm older and living in the desert where it's hotter than hell in the summer, and 40 degrees seems pretty cold here to me now. And it really isn't.
So you probably noticed that cat-like jump reflexes that I got up to go see what was going on. I heard a noise of a bunch of things crashing, and I expected to see her on the floor. She was not. She's fine. However,
Bonjour.
there are a couple broken dishes.
Bonjour, Monsieur Ken.
Man, I'm beat. I'm not used to working on Fridays.
Oh, that's right. You usually have Fridays off, don't you?
Yeah, I work for Tiz, but I played hooky Tuesday. Oops.
You and Doug seem to have something going on with this hooky, don't you? He played hooky a couple days last week.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. He did that Tuesday, and I did that Tuesday also this week.
I see a pattern.
But we didn't even talk to each other. My excuse is I only got 2 hours of sleep Sunday night, and then I had a client hit me up Monday, and I screwed with this computer for 3 hours Monday night. And it just went on and went on, and I'm kind of like Doug. I'm gonna dig into it. Why is this not working? I actually called Doug. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, Long Dog says, you guys experienced a shock to some degree gas bills? No, I don't have gas. I have electric. And
I wish I had gas. I hate electric heat.
I was thinking about it, but I talked to my neighbor today, and he said his gas bill for last month was over $200. So I don't necessarily know that that solves my problem. But
Have gas.
the Fox affiliate here in Indianapolis is doing an investigation because of the jump in electrical bills.
I saw that. Well, out here too.
Well, it's across the board. It's across the United States. I was on a budget of $214 a month, budgeted. My next bill will be $293 budgeted. Now you can't tell me it's gone up that much for two people. It just hasn't.
Being that said, I say I'm on electric. I don't have the modern heat pump. There's electric strips in there like an oven pumping heat through this place.
Right. They're electric, right?
Yeah. And during the winter, it kills me. It's 150. It's a hundred average a month. But this year, it's like skyrocketed. I love the summer because it's not using them heat strips. It's actually using a air conditioning compressor.
Yeah, I looked at my bill earlier tonight, and during the summer,
it's around $80-$60.
Yeah, during the summer when I kept it, and I keep it cool in here. I've had these thoughts many times. 75 degrees in the summer is comfortable. 75 degrees in the winter,
75?
you're freezing. Yeah, I keep it comfortable. 75, 72.
I put, well, we get extreme temperatures. It's 110 sometimes, but I keep it around 80. But, I got one of them smart thermostats and I program it. But at night, that guy's going down to 74. I want some damn I want some stuff on top of me. I like to be in the
I
cold air when I'm sleeping.
I wish I could have our thermostats on 75, but if I did that, my mom and dad would kill me.
For heat or in the summertime?
Both,
Really?
Now during the winter,
but especially for heat.
I like it at about 69 degrees. But damn, it cuts on and off every 3 minutes. It's killing me.
Our heat does that too during the winter, but it's because my mom and dad don't like it warm in here. They turn the heat on just to say they've got the heat on, not so that you can actually feel the heat.
Hmm.
At least that's what I feel like sometimes. Because even though the heat's on, they still keep it around 68.
Long Dog, do you know what would
68 to
happen to this
71.
nation if electricity was shut down for whatever reason? Yeah, if it shuts down, there'll be no Ken Stout Live because I'm not going to use my hotspot.
We'll just buy more tree. I mean, we'll cut down just more trees
I
and
know
have a
what'll
big old
happen. I know
campfire.
what'll happen until the cell phone towers go down. People will be bitching all over Facebook saying electricity just went out. Where's the electricity? Get the electricity back on.
Well, I've been in plenty of hurricanes. It wouldn't bother me none.
Because that's what I've been seeing for the past 3 days. All over Facebook is we're still without electricity. Get people turn our electricity back on. When's the electricity getting back on? Is internet out? Is internet on?
The trick is you got to be prepared. You got to have plenty of water stored somewhere underneath your sink because it's the power that they can't pump the water no more. You got to be really prepared.
Well,
Bathtub.
we are prepared as far as food and water and everything. The only thing we're not really prepared for is internet outages, but there's really no way you can prepare for that other than having a cell phone with a good data plan or a mobile hotspot. But eventually you'll run out of that.
Yeah, even if you have a hotspot, the cell towers could go down too. So
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
that wouldn't bother me one bit.
I hate to see what happened if cell phones go down.
We
And
didn't used to have them.
Complete blackout. No, I can't never remember a time that the cell phones haven't worked. But wouldn't it be something if the cell phones completely quit working? Phone calls, texting, data, everything, and no internet or nothing.
I don't know if Chris remembers this or not, but there was a big power outage up there in New York years ago.
Yeah.
And it shut down some major networks, and it affected everybody in Georgia. We had no cell phones because it started up there, but we had power, and it was a big deal. It was all over the national news. People were in these bars sweating to death. It was funny. I laughed about it. I was like, who cares? Just go outside if you're sweating. They shut down the cell phone towers from New York all the way down to Georgia. Do you remember that, Chris?
I remember something, but it seems like you could make a call, but it would disconnect.
Yeah. You could call somebody or you get a busy signal or it would just shut off. I remember that.
What about 911? Could you still call 911 or was that cut off too?
You couldn't call nobody.
Wow.
It affected the whole East Coast. I will never forget that.
The day of 9/11, everything went down.
I won't forget that neither. I was in Statesboro, Georgia when that went down, and my shop, the machine shop, was behind a Geechee Technical College. There on what was that highway? 301? Yeah, 301. Going out towards I-16. And it was a little country store across the street. I went there and they had hot dogs, 25 cents. Hell yeah, get me 4 hot dogs. I walked in the store and the guy's like, can you ring me up? And he just glued to the TV. I was like, what's going on? They're attacking us with missiles. course, he didn't know what was going on either. I got back to the shop, I was like, oh crap. And this machine shop I worked at was my dad's good friends of my dad. The president of the shop was a pilot. The vice president of the shop was a pilot. And matter of fact, we went to Brooklyn Airport that day to go flying together, and they were running what's those radars on top of the place? NORAD,
Yeah,
where
I
they
think
watch
so.
everything on the ground, and they contact us. If you move that airplane 20 more feet, you're going to get in a bunch of trouble. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? So it didn't set into me what was going on until after I got home, 8 o'clock that night. And then, matter of fact, I talked to my best friend last night. He was in the tower that day. How he made it out there, I don't know. But
Yeah,
the reason why,
we had somebody come to college a while back and talk to us, and they were at the Pentagon or whatever.
well,
He
he was
told us,
he was in the tower, and the only reason why he was in the tower, they won some Michael Jackson concert tickets or something through the local radio there in Roanoke, Virginia, or Lynchburg, Virginia. Well, they didn't even go to this stupid Michael Jackson concert in Radio City. They used the tickets because it included airfare. They used the tickets because they wanted to go up into the towers. And he was telling me about it. He's like, yeah, you got to pay to go up to the top floor, and we want to go to the top floor because that's where all the good restaurants was at. He was in there when they got attacked. I was like, dude, how did you get out of that thing after he got attacked? I don't know.
Was he on the top floor?
He was like three or four floors under it. Actually, the plane was underneath him.
I've heard of some people getting out.
He got out and he just got a cell phone. I just got my first cell phone, the old Nokia. And I kept calling because I was worried about him because I knew he won these tickets. He didn't care about the concert. He just wanted to go to New York or wherever. We didn't hear anything from him for like 3 months, and he finally talked to everybody. He's like, yeah, I got trapped. I made it out. I was like, you're lucky.
Catching up on chat here. Looks like we're talking about food.
Somebody was mentioning 911 earlier. That's one thing. In the old days, when you had landlines from Ma Bell, it had its own power. You usually had phone service even if your power was out.
Yep.
Nowadays, if the power goes out, you got an internet phone, you don't have it. If you got a cell phone and the tower's down, you don't have it. So,
well, we used to have
I'm
with
not
the
sure
old
that's
copper
progress.
with the old copper service. You supposedly could have. We used to have. You could have a. You could use. You could. You should have been able to work a phone even if the power was off. But my mom said today that one time when we had the old service, she tried to plug a phone in to that without the with when the power was off, and it didn't work. Now my thought was instantly it's probably because that filter that was on that line at the time, the filter that was on the jack was causing a problem. So she undid the filter. She could have called out or whatever, but like we just had it.
Well, the old phone lines needed some voltage to work, but the voltage came from the phone company.
Yeah.
I was told
And it didn't need 120. I mean, you didn't need your regular outlet.
The old phone lines had 5 volts going through them.
Well, my mom still uses the term landline, even though she may or may not understand that in today's world, even if you have a house phone, there's pretty much no such thing as a landline anymore, like the traditional landline, like what you're referring to, Jeff. It's all digital. So if you don't have power.
Yeah, I've got a landline, but it's through Comcast, and I don't even know my landline phone number because I don't use it.
I mean,
Call
I've got a internet phone. I I bought a little box for 99 bucks from a company called Uma,
I've heard of them.
and I bought it at Walmart. And when my wife was living, her hands didn't work well. She couldn't handle a smartphone or even a flip phone, but she could handle an old style portable phone instrument. And so I just bought this Uma thing for 99 bucks, and then they charged me like $5 a month for phone service after that. I
Damn,
still
that's
have it,
cheap.
I just haven't canceled it. What they try to do is upsell you on things like call forwarding and three-way calling, but if you don't need any of that crap, it's a cheap, quote, landline, although it's internet phone. So when the internet's out, you don't have a phone either. And the same thing, it's like a cell phone. You have to register your address with them. So if you call 911, the system knows where the hell you are.
I was
Yeah,
told,
same thing with mine, but I didn't bother with it. I don't use the landline. Matter of fact, I'm going to cancel my landline and my cable. All I want's internet. This is stupid. What I'm doing. I don't.
Well, if you
I don't even use the cable.
don't watch much on the TV,
Everything is streamed. I got a computer hooked up to the TV. I stream everything. Why
I'm not.
bother?
Only thing that I stream, well, the only thing my grandchildren stream is YouTube.
That's pretty much all I stream, and occasionally I will watch something off of Amazon Prime.
And
Mostly
the only reason why I kept it is so I could see the local news. Well, now you can see the local news
on YouTube.
on the internet. It's free. Why am I paying $160 a month for this crap I don't use?
Yeah, I've got
I don't even know. I don't even know my landline phone. You know.
I've got DirecTV satellite, not the streaming.
Oh, I used to have DirecTV
And
back in Georgia because there was nothing out there, no internet, no nothing.
I bought a package through Costco, and it was pretty good at first, but the promotional period's over, and it's up to, I don't know, with everything, 97 bucks a month or something.
Long Dog says it's 50 volts.
Okay, and it works, but 3/4 of the channels are advertisements on the frickin' DirecTV thing. So
yeah, I kind of got.
Sure, as soon as my contract is up at the end of the second year, I may get rid of that and try to figure something else.
That's
I kind of got.
Good thing about Windstream. There's no contract.
I kind of got screwed with DirecTV when I was in Georgia. I will never, ever, ever use them again.
yep, I know what you mean.
My mom ended up having to pay $35 to Dish. They told me when I called them that it was going to be 10, but she ended up having to pay $35 to Dish because it was I called them to have our Dish terminated early, early termination fee or whatever, and they ended up charging $35.
But that would you like within a few days of when it would have been able to be canceled for free?
Yeah, something like that. But they had already canceled. They had already told me it's going to be $10. I said okay, and they canceled it. And by that time, it was said and done. So she just had to.
Now Corey Holzman brought up something today about having a hard time counseling stuff, and I listened to it at work. What was it called? FTC. You could complain about those people because they shouldn't be doing this kind of crap. Having a hard time counseling services. I remember him talking about that today.
None of these companies like it when you cancel because they know that
the same thing with me with Comcast. I'm trying to cancel 2 services right now, but I can't talk to a real person, and he even talked about that today too. It's an AI guy, artificial intelligence, and you're chatting with them online. Screw that crap. Hey, cancel it now is what I want to do.
When I get on the phone and call support, if I can't get through what I need, I just keep pressing 0 and saying agent or human or something like that, and Eventually, they'll put me through to somebody.
You know what I do? Operator.
Jim Croce, right? Operator. Never mind.
Operator.
I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I'm right at my hour. Actually, I'm 5 minutes over. So thank you, everyone, for joining us.
What, are you going to take 5 minutes off tomorrow night then?
I just might do that. I'm not sure there'll be a stream tomorrow night. We're still contemplating doing something. So if there is, it'll probably be from the phone if we do something. And it'll be short, sweet, and to the point. Like, live stream, bye. So I want to thank everybody. Greg Guy, congratulations. You were first tonight. I'm not sure how that happened. And no, I did not send Greg a text on Facebook and say, I just posted it. You need to get in there to be first. I would not do that. So congratulations. John Loy Sr. said he was second. And he said he almost made it. Bobby Warren said I'm third for the first time. And he hopes he's going to be first. I'll work on a trophy for you guys so that when you get first place, you get the first place trophy, and everybody else will get a participant trophy, and then we'll all feel like little leaguers again. I added Peter Gabriel.
When one guy's first one night and somebody else the next night, do we have to mail it to each other?
Yeah, really. That's cool. I'm trying to look here. I said Peter Gabriel. I know that's not his name.
Mimi.
No, it's not Mimi either. I know Mimi.
I know.
Peter Dobson. Wasn't he a newscaster? Why am I thinking that was the...
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it did to me too. I added him as a moderator. I've seen him around a couple times, and I have no issues. And he brought up a couple good points, so he is now a moderator. Hope to see him back. I believe I'm up to 200. I'm down to 232 subscribers, so I will end the stream by finding the right button over here somewhere. And I think it's this one. And no, I have not fixed it. Before I go, while this is running, next week will be my 2-year anniversary of streaming. And
I was just getting ready to ask.
Do what, Tim?
I was just getting ready to ask you a question. Isn't that coming up? And how many subscribers do you have?
Yeah, it's coming up.
I could have looked and found it out on my own, but anyway.
It is coming up, and it'll be the 7th, and I'm currently at 232. I was at 233. I stuck at 233 for the longest time, which was fine. I lost
This is
one.
2 years?
That's since I started, yeah, in 2 years.
Wow, that's not bad.
But I would like to get a really good picture of everyone that participates in Zoom. And if you'd like to send me an email if you participate in chat, so that I can put something together on.
So you want my picture?
Well, I would like one from everybody. Yes, not just specifically you. I mean,
well, don't you already have a bunch of them that went on the cup and the other thing that you
Well, I was just
talk about that.
I was just getting ready to ask that exact question. Can I get a cup?
You want to split costs with me? Sure. But you do realize you're not on the cup, right? You do.
I know that because I forgot about that particular night. I remember that email going out, and I totally forgot about it because I was so busy from work. I was so tired that day. I totally forgot about the time.
Hey, Tim, if you look right here at the bottom, there's just enough room you can get a picture and tape it on there, and then you'll be on the cup.
You can put me on the bottom of it.
I don't have So going back to Jeff bringing up a very sore spot with me. You guys remember a while back I had 728 things in my downloads, and somebody was complaining about it. So I started cleaning my downloads. Guess what?
I remember that.
Yeah. Guess what I can no longer find?
What?
The pictures of the cups. I had pictures from a year ago of everyone. I can't find it.
So what you're saying is it's my fault because I was the one complaining about your downloads folder.
Actually, it was not you at all, and you got a guilty conscience, huh?
I'm gonna say something about that.
Anyway, I'm gonna hit the button and end the stream. Thank you guys. Winter Mute, Tony Wallow, John Aloy Sr. See you tomorrow night, and Long Dog. We'll get together on the cooking channel. This is for everybody on YouTube.
Good night.
Good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow. What's that from?